law. What's the result? Who becomes more available for who? We see a further step in locating patriarchal power squarely among and within white men. We've talked about the law of 1664 and the amendment to that law in 1681. And we've noted that the key difference between those two is the reference to the group who's of concern. The language has shifted from British and other freeborn to British and other white women in that particular law. So the question becomes, well, what the heck happened between 1664 and 1681? And the answer is Bacon's Rebellion. This was a massive revolt in the colony of Virginia that lasted more than a year. Let me give some background of the seeds of this rebellion, what helped give rise to this violent outburst. Those who were enslaved, I don't think it's hard to imagine, were by definition of their status disgruntled laborers. And remember that pool of readily available workers from England who were poor and happily sent off in the guts of ships? Well, they dried up. That population surge ended, and there was no longer a pool of laborers from Britain available to handle the work on the plantations in the colonies. The result is they began to impose harsher punishments on indentured servants who were already here, so that relatively minor infractions would result in significant extensions to their years of service. Those who completed their term of indenture or who were released from their status as enslaved were frustrated. They were frustrated because the King of England gave almost all of the farmable land to his buddies. And even if they could find land to grow tobacco on, prices dropped and taxes went up. So land and other opportunities became much more limited. So this guy, Nathaniel Bacon, the guy pointing his arm, he didn't have to search very far for disgruntled laborers. Both those who were enslaved or indentured faced worse treatment, and those freed faced less ability to make a future for themselves. Persons of European and African descent fought in the first phase of Bacon's Rebellion against members of native tribes, and then in the second phase of Bacon's Rebellion against the British ruling elite. Nathaniel Bacon ultimately died from wounds that he received in a battle, and England sent troops into the colony, and that eventually quashed the rebellion. But not without having made a significant impression upon those who wielded authority and were threatened by this rebellion. Remember, this rebellion lasted over a year, and records from lawmakers in Virginia to the Legal Oversight Authority in England revealed that over 30% of the population were in support of the rebellion. Here were the lessons from Bacon's Rebellion. A united labor force is a threat to the form of capitalism taking hold within the colonies. Virginia lawmakers wrote letters to the Oversight Authority in London explaining that they intended to pursue a divide and conquer strategy in order to prevent future rebellion.
And you see that to this day.
It's only after Bacon's Rebellion that we see the emergence of white people as a group of humanity.
There you go.
Let's think about this for a minute. 1681, some lawmakers invent a new label for a group of people. Imagine, if you will, just for a second, for fun here, that I'm a lawmaker, and I just pass a law claiming that 3/4 of you in this room are crunchies. Okay? So 3/4 of you are crunchies, and the other quarter of you are not. Who gives a damn? Who would care? some silly lawmaker came up with a label for you. It's really unlikely that it would mean much. But let's say I follow it with this. Those who are crunchies, you can pay no more than $25 a night for that hotel. No more. Those who are crunchies are the first to come into any room at this conference and the first.
So you see what she getting at, man. Basically so-called white privilege. Okay? That's all it is. It's a social conduct. Which let me get the word social conduct, man. That's all really it is, man. There's no such thing as a white race, man. Okay? Oh, not social conditioning, but that's another thing Esau likes to do. It says the essential or characteristic customs and conventions of a society or community. It says, let me see what this says. Social behavior is behavior among two or more organisms with the same species and encompasses any behavior in which one member affects the other. This means that in regards to humans, social behavior can be determined by both the individual characteristics of the person and the situation that they are in. But if you go into white, you know, let me type that in. What does white represent? Let me type that in. Alright. The color of psychology characteristics of white. White represents purity or innocence. And you're not pure and you're not innocent. Okay? The scriptures say you're profane from the outside. You're profane, man. Okay? Vile. And it says innocent. You're not innocent. What are you innocent of? Okay? You've done nothing but commit crimes on our people, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. Okay? And you destroy the planet Earth. And you're robbing everybody blind, man. Okay? So that's enough for that, you know? But, you know, he also put Caucasian. So let's see what Caucasian really goes into. Okay? Just say, oh, I'm Caucasian. Okay, let's see what that goes back to then. Okay? Caucasian. It says 1807 of or pertaining to the Caucasus Mountains. So it goes back to the Caucasus Mountains. Right? I don't know why it says Malay Native American because we're not Caucasian, but we go down, you know. It's not really much, but the point was made. That's what it really goes back to. Caucasus Mountains. Okay? And what does the scripture say? You know, about yeah, okay. What does the scripture say? Esau look like he changed that shit too. Because it's a lot different from what it was at first. Okay? What does the scripture say? You know, I mean, get it. Showing you that more proof that you're Esau. Okay? This is Genesis 36 and 8. It says, thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom, which Edom is what? Red. Okay? As it said in Genesis 25th chapter. And he was red all over like a hairy garment. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites, in Mount Seir, man. Okay? And let's look up Mount Seir. Okay? Which I know today is known as Petra. You know? They changed it to Petra. Okay? Show you Esau's structure. But let me type in Petra because it's now, they changed the name. But it's still known as Mount Seir, though. Okay? Here it is. This is Mount Seir. Okay? This is where Esau comes from. Okay? And what does the infrastructure in these rocks and these caves remind you of? Let me type up the White House and all the other structures. You know? Because that reminds you exactly of what? It's how you know the Edomites are here. They're the Edomites. Look. Don't that look like the entrance of Petra? You know? Doesn't that look similar? You know, the entrance way, the holes was the windows. Okay? And not only the White House, but just go throughout all these cities. It's the same infrastructure. Every time they come to power, they put the same infrastructure up. Okay? See? Let me get another scripture, man. See? It all leads back to Edom, man. You being Esau. You know? This is because what were you before the term white came into play? You were Esau. This is what you want to hide from, though. This is what you don't want to you don't want to be, because you know what comes with being Esau, man. You descend from Edom. This is Job 30, right? And 1. This is going into Esau as well. It says, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision. You know, calling us black, which if you look up the characteristics of black, is negative, man. Void of light, wicked. That's what you calling our people when you call people black. And anything else outside of the Israelites, man. Okay? It says, whose fathers I would disdain to set with the dogs of my flock. Yeah, where too might the strength of their hands profit me, and whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, and former time desolate and waste. It says, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried them as after a thief, because none of the nations wanted you around them, man. Okay? They saw how profane you was. They didn't want you around them. Okay? It says to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys and caves of the earth and in the rocks, man. Who does that remind you of? You Edomites, man. Look at the commercial Geico. What do you see? A caveman. Okay? A Edomite caveman. And what they say, so easy a caveman can do it. Because they know who their lineage goes back to, man. Okay? That's you. Okay? That's all you call yourself. When you say Caucasian, that's all you doing, you know? Let me get Malachi 1 and 1. It says, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said the Lord Yahweh by Shemashah. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, said the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob. I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness, man. Okay? So, that is you, man. You Esau, man. It all links back to you. This is what you didn't want the world to find out. This is what you weren't trying to hide from. You know? This is, let me see. Psalms 109, I think. I'm going to get Jeremiah 49. Okay? You fooled the world, okay, by telling people, having people believe that. You have white people, you have black people, you have Chinese people. You got, what else you got? You know, all these other races, man. Which those aren't even real races. Those are all made up terms, man. Okay, because if he came out and tell you one nation, what nation is who, then he has to explain who he is, and that's what he's refused to do. Okay. This is actually, let me get Psalms 109 first. Psalms 109. Actually, I'll just get this and I'll go to Psalms 109. It's Jeremiah 49 and 8. It says, and 8. It says, flee ye back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedom, which is a tribe of Edom. For I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. And it's starting with the exposure of who you are. Because the Lord has to expose you first before he comes back and physically take you down. So the world, when the Lord does come back, the world is already going to know why he's coming and what he's going to come to do. Okay? It says, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbor, and he is not, man. And what are you not? White, Caucasian. You name yourself after all these different lands. What are you? You're Esau, Edom, man. The descendants of Esau. That's what you are. Okay? You don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe it, because at the end of the day, when the Lord gets back, it's gonna be made clear who Esau is. Okay? But you've been made bare, man. You can no longer hide behind these strongholds of lies that you've set up and put upon the world, man. Okay, that covering cast, like it says in Isaiah the 25th chapter, the 7th verse, is being lifted, man. Okay? Because what do? Okay? Let me just get it. This is Psalms 109, right? I'm probably going to start it, yep. I started, let me see. I start at 5. Salaki. It says, Psalms 109 and 5, it says, and they have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love. And what do you see our people? All our people want to do is chill. They want to kick back. Our people, in general, we could get along with anybody. But this man has not let up with his hatred, man. Okay, his laws, okay? His police force, they have not let up with their hatred, man. All these people, you see on the news just coming to Jake. You Edomites coming to Jake and just saying racial shit. Calling them racial slurs or telling them, why they there. They're not supposed to be there. Doing all that madness, man. Our people have done nothing to you Edomites. But you Edom, it really, what it goes back to is that birthright and that blessing. See? The spirit of your forefather over that birthright and that blessing is on you. That's why you hate our people, man. You were created to be the wicked. We created to be the righteous. You were created to be against us, and we created to be against you. Okay? The scriptures say I will put enmity between the seed of the woman, which is the Israelites, and the serpent, man. And this is what's been happening, okay, for a long time, man. This is what's been playing out on the planet Earth. It says, set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand. When he shall be judged, let him be condemned, and let his prayer become sin. Let his days be few, and let another take his office. And this is what's happening. Your days are few. And who's getting ready to take your office? Yahweh Shah is coming to set the kingdom of heaven up, his kingdom up. And we being joint heirs with them, we going to rule with them. Lord, win them one of those men. Okay? Let his children be fatherless and his wife a widow. Let and this woman, she's an Edomite woman, exposing her own nation. Let his children continually be vagabonds. So let's get that word vagabond, right? The word is nuwa. It says to quiver, Let me see. To wander, to stagger to and fro, wander up and down. What have you done? You've wandered up and down, going, destroying lands, conquering the people, stealing their nationality. Okay, because that's what a fugitive does. That's what you are, a fugitive. Okay, what does a fugitive do when he's let loose? Okay, he what does he have to do? He has to remain, okay, anonymous. He has to remain hidden. Okay, what he's gonna do? He's gonna steal. Okay, he's gonna create a new identity for himself. If that means stealing somebody else's identity or just hiding under something he created out of his own ass, man. And that's what you've done. You stole our nationality. Gave us a false nationality, going and professing to the world that you are the true people when you're not. You're the wicked, Then you like the cops say, when the fugitive, when he's finally loose, he's gonna do whatever. That's what makes him more dangerous, because he's gonna do whatever he can to remain loose, and that's what you do. Set up all these lies, and when your lies get torn out, what you gonna do? You gonna come with that sword, man. Okay, you gonna come with that wrath. That's the last option you got on the table now. Okay? But you're a vagabond. Okay? That's all you are. It says, let them seek their bread also out of their desolate places. It says, let there be none to extend mercy unto him. Neither let there be any favor to his fatherless children. I skipped the verse actually. It says, let the extortioner catch all that he hath, and let the stranger spoil his labor. And the extortion, that's really the main extortion, is going to be Yahushua, man. Okay, because the scriptures say you're going to be brought to the king of terrors, man. That's Yahushua. Okay, because Esau has been able to go around the earth, you know, and do all this wickedness, and he's set a system up to where he's able to get away with it, man. Just like this whole Jeffrey Epstein case. You had the judge, I believe her son got killed, and the dude that killed her son, I believe, I gotta look more into it, ended up dead, man. It's a cover-up. They're trying to cover up what they've been doing, you know? But this system, in this system of his, he's able to do that. So a higher judge, you know, in the heavens, he's going to come down and intervene, man. And it's game over for you, you know? And this is why you have a problem with anybody that speaks the truth, man. Okay? It says, let his posterity be cut off, and in the generation following, let their name be blotted out. And your name will be blotted out. After the 1,000 years of captivity, okay, under Yasharallah, the Israelites, the same people you have in captivity right now, okay, that you call Black, Latino, Native American, they going to have you in captivity. Once you do your 1,000 years, you're going to be the only nation of people that's going to be annihilated, man. And this is what they're trying to escape. They're trying to get away from that. But you can't get away from that. The scriptures, the Lord said, surely the Lord will not quit the wicked, man. Okay? Let them be before the Lord continually, that he may cut off the memory of them from the earth. Because that he remembered not to show mercy, who? To the Israelites. You didn't show our people mercy. You still ain't showing our people mercy. Are you telling our people who they are? Of course not. You're not going to do that. Okay? But persecuted the poor and needy man, that he might even slay the broken in heart. As he loved cursing, so let it come on to him. As he delighted not in blessing, so let it be far from him. As he clothed himself with cursing like as with his garment, you know, with slavery, you know, and these riches of slavery, so let it come into his bowels like water and like oil into his bones. Let it be unto him as the garment which covereth him, and for a girdle wherewith he is girdled continued. Let this be the reward of my adversaries, starting with you, Esau, from the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, and of them that speak evil against my soul. Okay? So, this is what's coming to you. But it's going to start with your exposure. Okay? But you're the Edomites, man. You're not, everything outside, everything you say you are outside of Esau Edom is not true. You're the Edomites. And we will have people of our lineage that will come looking like you. But the Lord, he's going to have his angels come down here and separate the wheat from the tare, man. The angels are going to already know who is who. Okay? So, that's it. Call hello, Allah, Yahweh, Ba Shema Shah, Baba Gashah, Baba Ba, Baba Ba, Abba Ha Ayabya, Abba Ha Ayabya. Shalom to the elect and to the few Aqua, few Israelite sisters that do listen, learn, and believe. Shalom to you.